Hey, welcome back to the Real Estate Tea with Chatty. My name is Chasity Richardson with Century 21 Redwood. We're back today with another live. Today, our topic is steeped in new construction. Top 10 tips when buying new construction. We know that new construction has been a solution for a lot of the shortage that we've had over the past several years around real estate. However, it may be new, but you still need to do your due diligence. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to start off with a story. The story is for a very specific reason. One of the first families I helped with new construction had the contract sent over, and I read through the contract, and one error immediately stood out. And that error was the representative said if they did not get approved for their loan, that they had to come to the table on closing day with cash. Like over $700,000 worth of cash. That, of course, was an error. They actually were financing with the VA, and so that was an absolute error. That right there is tip number one. Make sure that you have a real estate agent representing your best interest when it comes to purchasing a home that's new construction. I know that there's reps in the office, and I know that they're going to try to make you feel comfortable by moving forward and purchasing a home without an agent. However, you need a second set of eyes to protect your interests and to make sure that you don't agree to something that you don't necessarily agree with. And coming to the table with cash outside of waiting for a financing contingency to come off after pre-approval is completed is something that cannot be missed. And so that is my first tip. Hire a real estate agent when purchasing a new construction home. Tip number two, research the builder. Check into Better Business if you would like. Make sure that the quality of work that you are expecting from that builder is there. Walk through that model home. Make sure that things are in the right place. They look good. They feel good. Everything that you would expect from a new construction home should be very apparent. If it's not, you need to bring that up, and you need to also ask yourself, is this the right builder for me? There are a ton of builders here in the Northern Virginia area that I've worked with. Right now, we have one under construction with Stanley Martin. They have a lot of quality assurance, so they're making sure that they are protecting their interests, their own interests in their product. And so make sure that you research the reputation of the builder. That's tip number two. Tip number three, this is one of the most important things that you're going to do when you purchase a new construction home. You should have 3 inspections when you purchase a new construction home. I know you're going to say, Chassie, that's pretty excessive. Inspections can vary anywhere between $500 and $700. However, it'll be a well-spent $500 to $700, and I'll tell you why. When a home is in pre-drywall stage, you can see all the wires, you can see all the plumbing. Sometimes we recognize that plumbing pipes that should be on an angle aren't on an angle. So the inspector will call that out. We'll notice that there are no nail plates protecting pipes behind beams or near beams. So how you would see that play out if it's not correct and hasn't been inspected is you may go to put a picture up and you put a nail in the drywall and you nail it in and you hit a pipe. There are nail plates that protect the pipe so that leakage doesn't happen, so that damage doesn't happen. A home inspector will identify that. When they are done with their inspection, they will provide you with an inspection, a completed inspection document. That document you can provide to the builder, and the builder will look it over and make sure that things are correct. Now, you're going to hear builders say, we get our home inspected by the county. The county's not an inspector, so keep that in mind. No slight on the county, they do an amazing job, but your interest needs to be protected by someone that you pay to ensure that your home is built properly. Once the drywall goes up, there's nothing that you can do outside of taking it down to protect the knowledge that you need of what's going on behind the drywall. So that's the first one. The second one should be, before you close on the home, make sure that your inspector has done the inspection of all the systems, the home, making sure the roof is correct, making sure everything is connected. I've seen after the house was done and we were about to close, there were items inside the HVAC system disconnected. Had we not noticed that, when the air conditioner would have come on, we would have dealt with flooding. So make sure that you have a home inspection done uh, before you close. And the last one would be anytime you have a house built, if you're with a company that provides a warranty, they're going to come back out and address all the issues in the house that have occurred as a result of the settlement of the home. The home is on land, it wasn't there before, right? So there's going to be settlement. You're going to see cracks and seams and nail pops, and they come back out and take care of that free of charge. You need to know the difference between what is cosmetic versus what is structural. Some things are going to be repaired, but some things are not, because it's going to be a repeated process over the next 3 years or so. One of those cosmetic things is caulking. You're going to see the caulking separate from your counter and from your wall. So that is a pretty easy fix. Get on YouTube, figure out how to do it, call your local handyman, but make sure that you understand the difference between cosmetic and structural issues, because they're going to come out and do some things, but they're not going to come out and do other things. So don't forget that. Don't skip the inspections, and you need 3. Let's go. Number 4, understand the base price versus the upgrades. Understand this, just like any of us do. When you are selling something, you want to put your best foot forward. You are putting on a Ritz. You want to make sure that every single upgrade that is available is available. And so what happens is builders do the same exact thing. But what happens is you go in there and you then go to your completed home and you see that there's a lot of stuff that you saw inside the model home that wasn't inside the home that you built. That's because there's a base price that does not include the bells and whistles. And then there's also an upgraded price with all the bells and whistles. Sometimes you may, have granite countertops and upgrade to quartz, or whatever the case may be, taller doors, or a taller ceiling, chair molding, crown molding. There's all kinds of upgrades that you can do, but every single upgrade down to the light bulb will cost you money. So keep in mind base price versus upgrades. Sometimes a realtor can negotiate, and sometimes you can actually get more upgrades. And this is a little realtor tip. The market is shifting towards buyers. And so that means that the buyers are going to have the upper hand. That means you will have some leverage. And so you may have the opportunity to negotiate some things that you might have had to pay, $5,000 for a basement being completed. Now you may not have to pay that. That may be thrown in, right, as an incentive or to encourage you to move forward with the purchase. So understand the upgrades and understand what base price is. Ask the builder for incentives and their preferred lenders. Now, a lot of times when we're buyers, there are significant funds that need to come to the table. One of those is closing costs. Another one is EMD. Another one is a down payment, right? And also your realtor fees of 2.5%. A lot of times that realtor fee can be paid by the seller. Closing costs can also be paid by the seller, in this case, the builder. And a lot of those incentives include closing costs assistance. And so that would remove a significant amount, sometimes about 2 to 3% of closing costs should be considered when you're purchasing a home. That 3%, 2-3% can be covered, not all the time, but a lot of times, it depends on the price of the home, can be covered by that incentive. The only key to this is that you're going to have to use their preferred lender. And another realtor tip, you'll have that preferred lender in the beginning, but it will ultimately, within a month or two, transfer to another loan servicer. It's not going to stay with that preferred lender, but the benefit you can get is that closing cost assistance. Now, another realtor tip, yes, they're giving you $10,000, $12,000, whatever the case may be. However, make sure it's not at the expense of a higher interest rate. That does happen sometimes. that higher interest rate may end up costing you more money in the long run. Now, you may say, you know what, I just don't have the 10,000. I'm going to go with that. I'm willing to take it. But if you do have the 10,000 and you want to reduce, reduce what you have to come to the table with, then you want to ask them about an incentive. And they most of the time will give an incentive. And right now, with the market being what it is, you can most likely get it. So keep that in mind. Review the warranty coverage. What is structural? What is systems? What is cosmetic? We talked about the what do you call it? The caulking. We talked about that. That is cosmetic. That may not be something that's covered, right? But the structural items, the systems items, those things come with warranty and should be taken care of. Now, if you are in a subdivision, lot block subdivision, you pull up to the subdivision, it says, Shelton Woods, or it says Woodstream, whatever the case may be, they are typically going to have a 10-year structural warranty. But if you live out on a piece of land that is not within a subdivision, you have to make sure that you get that home warranty in writing. So don't forget that. Sometimes that's negotiable. I had one time when a client wanted to move into the house, but they only offered a 3-year structural warranty. Well, we just talked about the fact that the house could be settling for 3 years. And so at year number 3, you got a beam coming down and they say, no, we don't have warranty anymore. That's not a long enough period of time to have a warranty on a home. So take those things into consideration. Know the timeline and construction delays. I got one word to say: tariffs. And the reason why that's important to mention here is because the structure of the home is built by wood. Sometimes wood is imported by our country from another country. And so the tariff situation may cause delays. So make sure that you understand the timelines and the construction delays as it relates to materials, weather, and laborers. That's important. There are laborers that are doing work on the homes. If they can't stay, then they're not working. So keep that in mind. We're not going to get political there. Just keep that in mind. Check the HOA rules. Now, this is really, really important because some people are moving into a home with the intention of house hacking, right? They're going to move into the home. They're going to build up equity for 2 or 3 years. And then their plan is to move out and then rent out that home maybe for an Airbnb. Well, every single HOA does not provide the approval for an Airbnb in their subdivision. So make sure that your HOA documents support what your long-term goals are. Okay. So remember that. And also, HOA fees are important. People have lost their homes over HOA fees. Make sure that you're willing to pay whatever those HOA fees are, or those special assessments. If they built the house and then they also are charging you for the road in the front, make sure that you keep up on those payments. Those are important. You cannot sell your home without paying them, and you could also lose your home for not paying them. So keep that in mind. Factor in future developments. This one hits a little close to home because in our subdivision here, there is a sign that literally says future development to come. And I mean, people were in an uproar because there was supposed to be an apartment complex there. Well, I mean, everybody got to live somewhere, right? And so I was fine with it, but not everyone. And so make sure that you understand what the future developments are: schools, shopping centers, apartment complex, townhome complex, an additional subdivision, anything. Check out your county, find out what is planned before you decide to move forward with new construction. And the last thing, and one of the most important, get everything in writing. Verbal promises do not matter or count. Make sure everything is in writing. That is it for today. The top 10 tips when buying new construction. Make sure that you pay attention to the things that you need to do and that you are diligent. Give me a call if you have questions or concerns. If you know anyone who is looking to buy or sell, give me a call. I am happy to help. I am a referral agent, and I work hand in hand with agents all over the country. My name is Chasity Richardson with Century 21 Redwood. My telephone number is 360-689-4893. Until tomorrow, have a great night.